where we're at with, Jeremy is going to talk to you about kind of a next rendition of the toilet lift, his success and his travel with some of the folks here in Florida, what's coming next, but also field some of your feedback with regards to videos that you may have sent out already, or feedback that you've gotten. So with that, Jeremy, I'll let you take the stage here.
Thank you. Was everybody on the last call, or are there any new people?
I was not on the last call.
Okay, so just Bob, at the very least for you, and if anybody else, have you seen the product? Do you want to, like, 30-second rundown of it? Would that be helpful?
Oh yeah, go ahead, and it's always good to see it again and hear your version of describing it.
Okay, I'm gonna just share screen. You guys have me?
With you.
Looking good.
All right, I won't go through this. I'll just go through it quick. So some of the fall and pain points here we'll come back to, and costs and whatnot. Oh, I wonder if Robert or Melissa is on or
Robert
joining.
just came on.
Oh, perfect. Hey, Robert. Okay, so let me just go over the product really quickly, right? So again, started the company because close family friend essentially struggled going to the bathroom after a stroke, and was really having a tough time. And so this is going back years ago. That was the initial inspiration for this. Turns out she, among many others, struggle with toilet transfers, and unfortunately can lead to falls and injuries and whatnot. So, enter the Sedmed Toilet Lift Assist. So it's a gas spring powered toilet seat lifter. So it mounts onto any toilet, 2 bolts, 2 minutes. So super simple, quick retrofit onto any existing toilet. And play this video here if you guys can see that. It actually slowly lowers you down, locks automatically for safety, and then when you want to stand back up, you can unlock with that blue lever, and it lifts up to 80% of your weight off the toilet. You'll see we're transitioning to the newer version of the product, so you might see some more of those, like, little nooks and cranny areas covered, and different aesthetic upgrades. And then just to show it one more time. In terms of the actual effectiveness, right? Because you don't know if an actor is faking it or not. We're dead weighting the product here with 150 pounds of sand, and you can watch as it really slowly lowers this sand down, just kind of showing that we're reducing those crash landings that so often occur. And then when you want to unlock it, you press that blue lever, and you'll see in a second here, but I'll be lifting about 150 pounds with one finger. So that's the real difference that this can make for somebody, both sitting up on their own, and then also with staff actually being able to assist them in the sense of so much less effort. So let me just stop there. Bob or anybody else, any product questions or anything pertinent to that?
I want to bring up, I heard a concern regarding the bariatric patients, and I know that it holds up to 500 pounds, but I think the actual width of the guardrails prevents some bariatric patients. So how are you answering that today?
Yeah, that's a good point. So, we get that a good amount, and especially depending on where we are in the demographics. But of course, we always tout, yes, it is 500-pound capacity. It's, bell curve is maybe 75 to 300, depends on the individual. Right now, they do not widen, but with current bariatric patients, I sometimes like to ask and turn the question, what are you currently doing? And they'll either be using one of those bariatric commodes, or sometimes they're, not able to toilet, depending on where they are. Or even, like, we were in the Mayo Clinic and they were like, yeah, we can't put them on our toilets because the weight capacity of those are too low, where they had people breaking them. So it's something we encounter, but sometimes we'll have a facility say that they'll leave one bathroom as a non-bariatric, or they'll have a commode for the bariatric patients.
Very good. Anyone else have feedback from the videos that you may have handed out? Anyone need more videos? What's been the response on that media?
Yeah, did everybody get those?
I did get mine. I had a pretty good response. What is today? Thursday? I guess it was Tuesday with a private hospital, Sutter Health, if you've ever heard of them. And it's going up the chain right now to headquarters, which is based in Sacramento.
Excellent. Gary, so where are you based?
San Francisco Bay.
Awesome. Okay. That sounds
San
great.
Jose to be specific where I live. But I'm
And-
all over.
And did you gave that mailer to them?
I did for Sutter. I kept that. You sent two, and I kept one for myself because I'm driving to Fresno right now to show engineering your seat.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah. And if you need another one or more, let us know. We're happy to support you with that.
I showed it to Kaiser, the local Kaiser here in San Jose this morning. He thought it was interesting, and plus they're building a new hospital, so I'm trying to get it to be placed on the new facility.
Excellent.
So one thing I'll keep everyone and want everyone to keep in mind is they just did a roadshow, as he mentioned, here in South Florida. I told them I was very angry with all the reps, and Jeremy and Kevin included, that they didn't take videos because they were literally demoing this product in VA lobbies. And I want Jeremy to kind of get, and Tracy's here and Dev, to give you the account of how it went when you were presenting with Jeremy and Kevin. And I want everyone to be begging and pleading for that roadshow to come to your area. So why don't we start with you, Tracy, if you wouldn't mind giving them kind of a recap of how it went.
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we set up an in-service with PT at Bay Pines VA, and it was, I think our time was noon, I think. So we of course got there early. We were in the main lobby. We grabbed some nurses that were just passing by and showed it to them, had them try it. We got a lot of attention, which is what we wanted, of course. And then after in our PT in service, they suggested that we reach out to the safe patient handling and mobility coordinator. And they told us where she was. And so we went over and hunted her down, and she came into the lobby, and then she brought some nurse educator friends of hers. And she also got somebody from EMS involved, because she said whenever she has a project, and each VA has one of these nurses. Some of them also have fall prevention coordinators, but she happens to be the lead for Vision 8. It was good. So she's made some introductions for us in Tampa and Orlando, which I just saw the fall prevention coordinator in Orlando, Deb, about an hour ago, and she's interested too. But it's just one of those products that you get a lot of attention. Jeremy and Kevin did a great job of, bringing their Home Depot toilet with the Sedmed on it. It was easy to roll around, big enough to get a lot of attention, but not too big to move around with in the hospital. And those guys are pros. I lined up the people and they showed the product, and it was a fun day.
Thanks, Tracy. I think you give us a little bit too much credit there, actually, because we got there and we met with some people that were like, oh, this is interesting. I might want to send veterans home with this. And then you started, actually hunting down the actual people that really needed to see it. And that's I think, where it really started to take off, which was really good. And then we couldn't leave the parking circle of the hospital because the veterans kept stopping us to ask us about it and figure out where they could get it.
That's the video I want.
Yeah, that's something that is gold. We actually, if Devin's on the call, we can go through his thing, but we had a pretty funny encounter too.
That was crazy.
That's an understatement. Yeah, I mean, similar, I want to say similar level of success for at Gainesville VA. And thank you, Jeremy and Kevin, I'm going to continue the trend of giving you guys too much credit. You guys are fantastic. So, I mean, our approach at Gainesville VA was a little bit different. I had originally introduced this to the clinical education department. So, we had originally set up the meeting with them, and how it ended up working out from there is we went from unit to unit in the bed towers and effectively just met with the nurse managers who got, for the most part, gathered around their in either nurses or nurses saw us walking by. We're like, whoa, that's really cool. And we even had a unit where, unfortunately for them, they just had a coworker of theirs who sustained an injury lower, basically preventing a patient fall in a bathroom, right? So they were very vocal about telling us they want to champion this product. They want to be the first unit to have their hands on it. So um, lots of success there. And then of course after that we went down to PT and tried to get in front of someone. Unfortunately, there was no one around, but we encountered a few really interesting patients that were heavily advocating for us to send some home with them.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great
Am I
day.
missing anything, Jeremy?
No, it was great. We'll be back there soon. I mean, I think I mean, credit to you and Tracy for getting the meeting set up pretty quickly. And then actually we booked a one-way flight and just didn't know when we were coming home and just kept extending at the hotel day by day to say, well, it looks like we're good for Gainesville, so let's go for it. And that's kind of our culture and what we want to do is we want to just work with you guys. We're hungry and we are pretty flexible. So yeah, I thought that was a really good trip to both sets of facilities. And I think Katie is on the call too. Katie, are you there?
I am. I am. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
And we actually had Birmingham VA hospital reach out to us by our website, safe patient handling person, and they're interested in just outright purchasing for them one device. But I think there's going to be more to come with that, and then also Atlanta. So we actually have a massive nursing trade show and conference that Katie's going to be jumping into with us for however long, a day or so, coming up in the next few weeks. And there will be a ton of commercial leads. And our goal, right, is to start feeding these leads to whether it's Katie or whoever, and, just kind of run from there and travel around to everybody. So that's pretty exciting that we're going to have that opportunity too.
Yeah, I will also add, we were asked to participate in a safe patient handling show for the entire VISN that they're doing. So that's something as well. You can ask your safe patient handling and mobility coordinators if they're doing that. And then you can participate in that show. And that's coming up in October.
So that's actually separate. Yeah. So there's that show for the system or the VISN.
Yes.
And then we also were invited to the national show. Debbie, we have to, and maybe Tracy, dive a little deeper into those contacts. But the safe patient handling manager for the St. Pete, Florida facility wants us to come to a nationwide showcase of innovation for all of their safe patient handlers as well. I think that's in January, so we should try to button that up.
Yeah, it's a big show. I've done it before with some assisted walking devices. And so they're used to coming to booths where it's all hands-on. You'll have a lot of fun with that as well. One of the things when you're talking with your safe patient coordinators, and Tracy was lucky enough to meet the VISN chief, what I have found in my experience in the past, and I used to be very, very close with the head of all of safe patient handling for the VA, is that they have a call monthly nationwide where people kind of hop on and they all talk about what they're seeing, best practices, challenges, those types of things. So as you're meeting your safe patient handling folks at each VA, keep asking questions about national calls, national opportunities, national shows, and who's in charge of safe patient handling nationally, because I'd like to get in touch with them at that level. Unfortunately, I don't have Tony Hilton's contact info anymore. So I'd love to know who that person is now.
I think we were connected to that person.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
her name. Jeremy sent it to you, but I'll resend it, Debbie.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause
okay.
yeah, we should that Jesse, the safe patient handling person, was like championing us around. And she sent our information to this person who's interested. So we definitely want to get into that show sooner rather than later.
Well, so this person is the national director or the director of the show?
I think the national director.
Yeah, let's
Oh.
see if we can't
Really?
get a call because she would know, or he or she would know who Tony Hilton was.
Okay.
Damn it.
Oh,
Oops.
Jack, what's
Sorry.
happening?
No, something. My apologies. My apologies. Let me put myself back on mute.
I
No
thought he
worries.
just didn't like the fact that we were going to get on a call together.
um, yeah, that sounds great. Any other? Oh, I mean, one other thing probably to mention is through Pathfinder Innovation that we submitted months ago. We're green light for a pilot with the West Haven, Connecticut VA. So that itself is no cost, right? So we're going to be like donating a certain number of devices, but on the innovation call, they recently said, hey, you guys can go through procurement if you want and just get a few devices, or you can, go through this pilot thing. And they essentially, Steve Robidoux, who I think is the chief nurse or something there, was like, why would I want to get a few of these, right? Why would I want to get just a few of these? That's not going to move the needle for me. If I'm going to do this, I want to take over a full unit. So, and that's what they want to do, and that's what we're actually going to do with them. And they're going to supply us with their fall data and their injury data for staff members as well. And that's going to be a big jumping off point. And they're excited about it, one, because of their own, needs and wants and whatever, but they also see the opportunity for significant scaling. And I think especially with the VAs, the scaling goes beyond just the hospital inpatient, unit takeovers, but also home users as well. They're very interested in it for that.
Yeah, so team, make sure you're calling on your home-based health clinics as well. And if you're not sure where they're at, usually urology works in conjunction with them because they do a lot on the urology side for home-based patient care. So if you can't find where that hidden closet or office is in your VA, try starting with the urology clinic and asking them where it's at.
Yeah, that sounds
And
great.
then of course, don't miss your CLCs because that's going to be a big opportunity as well.
Yeah. We want to fly our
Even
toilet
in
around the
one
country.
of our CBOC locations has PM&R located within the CBOC. And so they're interested in having a demo just on the pain management side. And in that CBOC, they have home-based patient care. So also make sure you're checking your CBOCs to see what services they offer. So Jeremy, you had mentioned some of the upgrades on the devices themselves. Can you kind of talk a little bit as to why we're doing that with infection control?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when we enter a hospital, it's pretty much a resounding like, oh my God, yes, we need this for our patients and our staff, not just in terms of the, patient, not just the clinical aspect of patients potentially getting injured, staff members getting injured, and the strain and the burden of lifting people over and over again. And then also there's max assist of 2 down to max assist of 1 and 1 to independent. So you're actually making people more independent and more dignified, especially with veterans. That's huge, right? Making sure that people maintain their dignity. But the blockers that you will encounter are primarily on the EVS infection prevention side, right? They'll look at this and say, well, there's more surfaces to clean. How am I going to keep this clean? And so that's where a lot of our most recent upgrades. So like some of the materials you'll see, there's like a lot of, we'll just say like nuts and bolts and nooks and crannies. And so we covered all those up really, so that it's all, it's sleeker. So it actually is more aesthetic. but functionally, it's going to be much more easy to clean and wipeable surfaces, and that's obviously really important to essentially our only blockers in a hospital. And then there's the financial aspect, but the clinical value is up here, and then we're starting more and more to get studies. We have a study launching shortly in Pittsburgh with Allegheny, where it's the economic ROI of the product. So looking at, actually quantifying, what the product might be starting to save.
Yeah, and I think Tracy had a response from one of her team that said that's all when we told them the price of $8.99. They said,
Yeah.
"Oh wow, that's all." So don't be afraid to give them the price for sure. Jeremy, let's talk through installation a little bit because that also can come up as a question. And do you have a video that is for installation?
I mean, we have videos of, all that. I mean, in the video mailer, even it shows like me trying to brush my teeth before Kevin, finishes installing, and he installed a Sedmed in a minute 20, right? So, we like to do white glove where Sedmed will actually do the assembly, right? So we'll ship him on site. Hopefully there's a big room we can just take over for a few hours. We'll assemble all the devices there, and then we'll install them for all the patients. Sometimes we'll do that in the first day, we'll just do a quick assembly. If it's, 30 devices, whatever, right? Next day we'll do installation, especially when the patients go to PT, right? Then we're not intruding on them. And then we do a training sprint as well, where we just get everybody we can together for, what's going on?
Oh, you could put that slide up there with the.
I'm not sharing screen.
Oh,
But yeah, so pretty simple from that perspective, but that's more on the Sedmed internal team.
So a couple of things to consider there is that one, the Sedmed team is pretty tight right now. We don't have folks to be onboarding 5 VAs at a time. So you got to make sure that you don't overcommit and say that we'll be there next week when the product arrives. Second thing is I would suggest, and we're going to be able to do this in our quotes, I would suggest adding, asking the customers if they would like assembly. And you can charge for that in a white glove service, just a nominal amount, because what happens with that is it gives it quite a value. But secondly, if they do have any sort of price concerns, that's where we could easily take money off of the quote. So let's just talk through each opportunity. Make sure you're asking the question if they would like us to include assembly and white glove service for installing. Of course, the in-servicing we would do at no charge, but it is a way to justify the price by removing those costs if there's a concern. And I just don't want to overpromise on time commitment. We need to make sure that we talk with Jeremy and Kevin and make sure we fit into the schedule. And if there's, if that's an issue because of money or, things that need to be spent, then we can talk about how we might be able to step in and help with some of that. But let's just make sure that we let them know that we have to check with the manufacturer.
Thanks. Yeah, that sounds good. And
also,
again,
if you get a big sale, I do know that Kevin and Jeremy celebrate with champagne. So make sure if they come to town that you guys request that same treatment.
And only the best.
of course.
That sounds great. Yeah, and like we said, we're happy to help in whatever way we can, right? You wanna plug us into an email chain, you wanna dial us into a phone call or get us on a Zoom, we're happy to do all that. And like we said, come out for the demo. It is a product that really lends itself to that in-person demo, and a lot of times that's what you need in order to move it forward, is somebody to be able to sit on it and see it in person. So we're just here to support in any way we can.
Any last minute questions or comments? Feedback was exceptional, guys. Thank you for taking the time. I'm glad that we had Jeremy and Kevin in the field with you for a few days so you could give some feedback. I put in the chat Jeremy's contact info. So if you want to know what his favorite champagne is, you can ask, or if you want to book some travel in your area, hopefully that's why you'll reach out. So thanks, Jeremy and Kevin, for taking the time and for doing that travel.
Of course.
I have one last point to share real quick. Well, and Jeremy had alluded to it earlier, but we were lucky enough to also have the EVS department come out and take a look at it. And I think, moving forward, including them, because, Jeremy had alluded that they're probably going to be one of the biggest voices against something like this, because obviously it's a product that in a way impacts them, but doesn't necessarily positively benefit them. It just causes them extra work, right? So if you can get them involved and, have them see how ecstatic the nursing staff is when they see something like this, I think you'll get an easier buy-in from them.
Devin, thank you so much for that. That's a really good point. On that, but also when you include them, it's like Devin brought up, a lot of times things get pushed into a hospital and EVS, EMS staff have no say, right? They're just like, oh, well, I guess I have more work to do now. And they probably feel a little bit more like they're at the bottom of the totem pole. So I think psychologically as well, it's really beneficial to include them, not just in terms of inviting them, but like I will not just say, oh yeah, here's how you clean it, right? This is what you do, or what questions do you have? I'll say, oh, check out the product. Look at how this can help veterans and staff. Do you want to try it? Do you want to experience it? Isn't that exciting? And then, right, we move into the EVS questions and EMS questions. But as much as we can, we like to make them feel included. That was just a really good point, Devin, because I think that really helped.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, I think the psychology of including them, you'll break down a lot of barriers with that, at least from what we saw on this interaction. I'm sure you've had to do this before as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Jeremy,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Reach out if you need anything. Katie,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm here.
see ya.
Guys.
I'm gonna
Bye,
get
Gary.
on Deja's calendar.
Okay. Did the product arrive? Do you know? Because
No. So you mean, did we ship product to them yet?
right, the last you and I spoke was about a week ago that we were still going to ship that, or are you holding to ship it? The PO open?
Yeah, I was gonna get on her calendar.
Okay.
So why don't I'll do that now. I'll just put myself on her calendar and then forward you the invite if you want, or you don't have to join, up to you.
No, I would just love to any way to build rapport with her would be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
She'd
all
love
right.
to have an appointment so she can
Oh,
please, Deja.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I think things will go well once we're in there for that show in October type of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, if she would stop gatekeeping other people's names, it would be really helpful for me. But
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll have the national director support as well.
absolutely, yeah. So I've sent information to 3 other of my VAs and dropped off the video for the Atlanta
Okay.
safe patient handling, Deb Curry. So I'm hoping we get movement with her.
Yeah, that sounds good, and I think we're gonna get a lot of traction in Atlanta at this show commercially as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Debbie, that's where I thought maybe when they're in town, we can get over to Piedmont.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you can do a little Google searching online to see what you could find, but I would reach out to Tracy and see if she has an email address for someone in safe patient handling.
Perfect. Sounds good.
They might even
Thanks,
be at
guys.
the show, by the way, if they're local. They could have nursing leadership. Likely, I think they would have nursing leadership. Typically, they're locally represented very well wherever the shows are.
That's a good point. Right. So,
And
but
we
it
can
would be
tell them
great.
stop by the booth for some chocolate toilets.
Okay, that's what I'll do. There's a good point. And because the meetings are in less than 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, and we're also, we can do dinner. We can take people out to dinner or whatever. Actually, I don't know. how much you can do with that. But yeah, whatever works.
Sounds good. Well, thank you
I'd
so
like
much.
you
I'm
to-
excited.
Thanks,
you.
Katie.
I'd like you
We're
to
excited to.
send me a sample of the chocolate toilet.
Oh
Is that what I heard you say?
yeah, we got chocolate toilets. We're actually probably getting a custom mold of them soon, so that'll be fun. But yeah, we got chocolate toilets.
I might fly to Atlanta just to get one.
Where are you based, Jack?
California.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know
But I
the
have
heat
people in
over there
Georgia.
right now, but we can try to send one out.
Okay. Awesome. And I'm sorry for that little expletive. You're multitasking. I saw something that came up that kind of was an issue, and I have to deal with it. So
No
Anyway.
worries at all.
So Jack, we'll get you a couple of videos out.
okay, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually,
Jack-
if you want to throw your address in the chat.
Oh yeah, were you not on the last call?
No.
So you want me to put my address in the chat or the email?
Address, your physical address to mail the videos. They're
Okay,
actually little boxes that you can share with people.
Okay. Should I just email you that and my physical address?
Sure.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than to put my address in the chat.
Yeah, because Erickson's note taker will have it forever.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank
All
you.
right. Debbie, thanks so
Right.
much for putting this together.
Katie. Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
guys.